Hello everyone, Happy New Year. Out in the shed today, and just thought I would chuck together a quick vid of some of the new outrigger components that we've bought. We currently have the Viper Pro riggers from Marlin. They come with I think a 3-stage telescopic fiberglass pole, which, to be perfectly honest, are absolutely atrocious. We persevered for a couple of years with them and have found that they collapse on each other. They're way too flexible. Yeah, they just give us dramas all around, and it really made using the outriggers unpleasant, which is not good when you're offshore marlin fishing. So we've bitten the bullet, and I've gone out and bought a set of Precision carbon fibre poles. The general consensus from the fishing community that these are the best available in Australia, so we've got them, and yeah, I'm just going to try and fit them into the bases and rig them all up. And so anyone that's thinking of getting some outriggers or wondering how to chuck them together, by no means am I doing it the only way. I'm sure everyone's got their own way to do it, but this is how we do it, how I've done it, and they've worked. So yeah, I'll chuck them together and we'll see how we go. So the beautiful outriggers, 2-piece design. They come in a beautiful PVC tube which keeps them safe. I believe thicker bottom section, beautiful. They're labelled, obviously starboard side. Yeah, super solid, made of carbon fibre, wonderful high quality. Yeah, let's fit this to the base and see how we go. So as shown, they've got a little label there that's for the starboard rigger. A little trick I like to do with my bases, I mark them starboard or right hand side if you're facing the front of the boat, and a little arrow that points to face to the rear of the boat or the stern. So they slide in like that. Now they're a little bit sloppy, just because it's obviously two different brands, but what I like to do is, bear with me a sec, I like to run some silicone tape just around it once, which just packs it out a little bit and makes it a more snug fit. So we'll get to that. Have a look at that. Just run the silicone tape around, and that now allows for a beautiful snug fit. So what I do now is I fill this with Sikaflex, cover it all up, and that just sits in there and bonds really well. But now I'm just going to fit a few of the eyelets so I can use them to make sure that I've got everything in line and use that as a bit of a visual guide. So the guides are very simple. They're just, you've got a nice little Ronston roller, and then you've got a bolt, a couple of washers, and your eyelet. All you got to do is make sure all your eyelets are facing the right way. Just through like that. Washer on each side, and they simply just screw on. I just go finger tight, nothing too serious. You don't want to compress the carbon, and there you've got it. This little roller that your outrigger line runs through, and then if you have a look down the barrel, you've got all your eyelets that obviously line up, and when you put your pole in your base, you want all your eyelets to run down and line up perfectly with your base. So next we'll just silicone the guts out of it and fix it into the base. So I just use a marine grade silicone base adhesive, Sikaflex, or this is a Sally's one, as long as it's waterproof and designed for marine. it'll withstand the salt water abuse. And it's as simple as, I like to flood the base and then come up the walls to get a nice even spread to make sure all the sections are bonded, and of course a rag to clean up all the excess. It is as simple as chucking it in. I like to give it a bit of a twist, make sure everything's all bonded, and there. Leave that to dry, and once dry I'll cork just the outside. I'll just spread it all around nicely so no water gets in and causes the Sikaflex or the adhesive to degrade. Another little tip I do is I also pack out around the perimeter of the poles just to make sure that they're centered in the bases. So I've got them in the sheds, too hot outside for them to dry. So yeah, we'll give them 8 or 9, 10 hours and then we'll come back and have a look. Rightio, so now we've got the riggers all put together. You can see where I've sealed them all, ready to go. They obviously come in 2 pieces and they screw into the base, which is here. This is the Viper gunnel mount bases. So as you can see, they just go in there. So we'll whack them together and see how they work. So as you can see, obviously, make sure you put the right holders on the right side. As I've marked my little washer, left-hand side or port. They lock in place. So, if we have a look, that's the outrigger setup. Extend up here. You can use the locking pins to pick your height. Quite beautiful. So, there we go. That's in the fishing position. So now we're ready to fit off our halyard, our lines and all our clips and make sure that they're functioning. So with the outrigger kit, you get all your rigging accessories, weights, tag lines. We don't really use tag lines very often. They're mainly for trolling lures, which we don't do a whole lot of. Our blacks clips or our rigger clips, our rigger line and our halyards. So basically what we need to do is obviously run the lines up through the guides, crimp them all together and then fix them off at a point down here, which I'll show you later. Rightio. So setting up our line, we go halyard, crimp, blacks clip, and then adjust it with this main line. So we get it to where we think we need it to be, which we use a system that just goes under our rod holder, like so, and then we just adjust for tension. So looking at that, we're going to be about there somewhere. We'll give ourselves a bit of play. Cut him. We go crimp, blacks clip, back through the crimp, and there we go. There's our loose setup, and it works like that. So we'll just crimp him off. We'll tighten it to where we think. It's probably going to be a little bit tighter than that. But yeah, we'll jack it all up, we'll crimp it all off, and yeah, we'll show the finished product. And there we have it.
Moves a bit easier with the rolls on it than last year. The last ones we had.
Much better. Precision Outriggers. Beautifully done. So here's our blacks clip where you can set the tension. Obviously that locks in there. Put your rubber band in, and then when it hits the threshold she trips and you're onto a beaky. Job done. How we stow them whilst underway, just a simple strap to a clip, and as they say, that's not going anywhere.